you, sir. Again, thanks for taking time out as always. It's always fun. This is kind of almost
welcome back. We're glad you're here too.
It's
Thank you for covering this and making it real for people who are not here, don't get to be here.
Exactly.
So,
It's a blast. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. All right, if you're ready, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right, here we are at the 2018 CUNA GAC in Washington, D.C. Notice how I put the C's together?
You did, yeah.
just playing around.
ACUC in D.C.
Yeah, there you go. Pretty cool.
No, the GAC in D.C.
Well, you could have the ACUC.
We could have the
ACUC
in D.C.
That's a lot of C's where it got out there.
That's exactly right.
It's Tuesday afternoon. We're a little punchy, but we're still having a good time. We're here with, obviously, CUNA's Jim Nussel. How are you, sir?
Fantastic, and that's exactly what this is. So advocacy is a serious business, but we are having a good time, and when you can combine that, when you can have fun at doing something as important, as serious as this, it usually is a good good chemistry, and as a result, I think people are having a great experience here.
I see nothing but smiling faces and lots of discussions in that room as well.
Well, we're making a difference too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. You know, you want to know that when you put effort into something like that, that it actually is moving the needle. And 2017, we moved the needle, and now I think 2018, that momentum is going to help us continue.
More the same. More the same. Big time. Big time. My first question to you, or maybe even a comment, is President George W. Bush in the House.
How about that?
Wow.
He was, and unfortunately, you know, there's no recording of it. I mean, you had to be here to see it. Yeah. I say unfortunate because I think a lot of people would have seen and had the experience that many here at the GAC did, and that is, as somebody said it to me, so I'm going to use the line, he was chill in the chair.
He was.
He was he was relaxed. Yeah. He was laid back. It was almost like visiting with somebody in your living room. It was for me, and it was a hoot from that standpoint. Just sitting there next to him, having the chance to ask him some questions and talking. But even the 5,200 or so people in the room, their experience was similar. They felt like he was just sitting there in the living room talking to them. So it was really cool.
Everybody who came out afterwards said it was the most relaxed they'd ever seen him. Yeah. And it was actually a really kind of a relaxed atmosphere, and just listening to two guys talking, you know?
Well, and they told me too, they said, why didn't we see that when he was president? Yeah. And it's interesting because we gave him that advice, or we urged as much of that kind of experience as possible. But in the mass media of the day and the soundbite politics, I don't know whether he'd do it, but he'd be good at it.
Oh, of course,
he'd be good at it.
His dad was really good at that too.
He was, but not as I don't mean this.
Relaxed.
Yeah, see, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to President H.W. Bush, but he didn't quite have that connectivity that George W. does and did during his presidency. He could relate to everybody. Didn't matter. George H.W. had at times, a little bit of a difficulty with that I think made him seem sometimes unapproachable. Was unfair because he was a very engaging gentleman. But at any rate, there's no question George W.'s got that on steroids.
Indeed. Highlight of the conference.
Yeah,
Highlight of the conference. Hey, let's talk about something a little bit more serious in context. ADA litigation. Yeah. This is something that's spreading across our country like wildfire, unfortunately. I want to get your take on it. What is going on here, and what's your feeling? What are your feelings on it?
Well, first of all, as somebody who has very deep personal connections with the disability community and in my own family, I am, and I'm a lawyer too, which I am embarrassed by the ambulance chasing nature of the legal profession, that they would prey on the misfortune of people with a disability, or that they would use that not to empower a person with disabilities, but rather to make money off of it.
Right, to use them basically.
So I start with that first and foremost. Second, I would just say that while I used to be a lawyer, I'm not going to give anybody any legal advice, but the best thing that a credit union can do right now, unfortunately, is to comply with what we know has had some success, and that's the WCAG AA 2.0 standards. We can get you, if you're interested, we'll get it from our CUNA.org website or the compliance community, because that's a set of standards that one court or a number of courts has said is something that credit unions can kind of hold on to as an anchor. And complying with that, so far we've learned, even though it's expensive, is cheaper than going down the legal route. And so get in compliance. There's some other things we can advise. And then last but not least, know that by banding together with CUNA and with our leagues, we are using our advocacy superpowers to do as much as we possibly we can get the job done. We did it last year with advocacy. We did it with creating awareness this year, and we did it with compliance. So that's the first. Second is that we can do a better job of communicating with our constituencies, and that's through creating awareness, the member activation program, educating them about advocacy. Again, you can get all that on our website. And then last, I was asking them to come to town to work on our regulatory relief bill, S2155.
Yeah, Ryan talked about that.
Yeah, the phone to action plan that we've been doing and going to Capitol Hill. 600 meetings we've got scheduled. 600 meetings. Every state, every district, every senator, every congressman, and the regulators to deliver this message about how we need common sense regulation, not one-size-fits-all regulation. And those are my 3 asks. Engage, act, and activate, and we can get it done.
Well, and that leads me to my next question, is the advocacy question. What message do you want to have the attendees here when they hike the hill tomorrow? What do you want them to say? What do you want them to talk about?
Well, so is
there a specific message?
Yeah, the macro message is about regulatory, having good common sense regulation. So we're, as you know this, we're in a regulated industry. That's actually part of our value proposition. We're safe, we're sound, we're insured. I mean, that's part of our value, because there are fintech companies out there that aren't.
You got that right.
Right?
You got
so
that
that's
right.
the first. Remember, it's not just we don't want regulation, we want common sense regulation, number one. It can't be one size fits all. Regulations that may be appropriate for Wells Fargo or Bank of America doesn't help us when you're a member-owned cooperative where members are suffering as the costs or the compliance burden is passed on to their credit union, in many instances making it difficult for them to even keep their doors open. So tell your story. So the slogans and common sense regulations and 2155 is all good. But when you get up there, remember to tell your story about your credit union, how it helps people, and how it serves its community when you go have a chance to talk to them.
Great message, and I think reiterating that message on a consistent basis, because I think Ryan and I talked about this earlier. When you leave this conference, don't stop the noise. Keep communicating with them.
Here's the secret: we want all these people to go home, right? Eventually.
Eventually.
Not yet.
Give them a couple more days, Tim. All right.
A couple more days. No, but we want you. So that's an issue they're working through. And they may have a good person, but can they be confirmed? Or they may have a qualified person, but can they get through the Senate confirmation? So it's that kind of an issue that they have asked me, for suggestions on names and qualities that we would like, and we're certainly communicating with them on that. But
that's good.
Yeah, I mean, they've opened the door, right? And I know there's been rumors out there. There's all sorts of speculation. Is it Mark McWaters? I mean, we don't. Yeah, that's the rumor mill. I'm not sure that's a fair. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure Mark. Well, first of all, Mark would be very qualified for the job.
Indeed.
No question about it. But is he the best candidate? Can he be confirmed? All of those issues. That's part of the buzz of the speculation. Who knows?
Is there a timeline on this? Have you heard, or is it just still kind of out there?
Well, I'm sure the White House timeline is. Well, I shouldn't say I'm sure. I would speculate that it's probably as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because
one would hope.
Well, so I was OMB. I was Mick Mulvaney in the Bush administration. I was OMB director, and it's difficult enough, tough enough to do that job.
Right.
Well, let alone to try and do both of those jobs and still have time to sleep at night and visit your wife,
your family. Yes.
So I think they've got to be under the pressure, if you will, to get this done quickly. In addition to the time running out on the acting director position in and of itself.
All right. Last question for you. I'm asking this of everybody here. It's the GAC. What do you want to learn here? I know this is kind of your show. This is CUNA's show. But what do you want to learn here? What do you want to take back to CUNA after this show is over? What do you want to achieve here? Did you have any goals in mind?
Sure. Well, and I just had a public forum in front of the membership from the main stage where I had a chance to go out and say, I am here. I told you this the very first time I walked in the CUNA front doors. I said, I'm here to listen, because listening to your members, we all serve members. They know that as better than I do.
Yeah.
Second, you got to learn from your members. And so listen and learn from them about credit unions, about what the pressure points are, etc. Third is be willing to help, to know where they need help, advocacy, compliance, education, creating awareness, whatever that might be. And then last, lead. Be a bold leader, someone who's willing to stick their neck out, to do things that maybe others were unwilling to do or not unable to rally around. So listen, learn, help, lead. Those are the things that I'm. And so that would be the third thing I'd say. And then the last thing I'd say is that you felt very confident that they were going to be supportive of our efforts on S2155. So it was great to meet with the president. The CEOs that I took up there did a great job, and we've been trying to get this visit since the transition. And I'm not surprised that, you know, when 5,200 credit unions come to town, you get somebody's attention.
You get a little bit of an ear. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Wow, that's great news. Do you feel there's like some sort of like a pendulum? It feels like there's a shift happening, that credit unions are really a force to be reckoned with now, you know?
I hope so, but I don't get paid to be quite that optimistic. My job is to go back in and say, how can we do it even better?
Yeah,
that's what I get paid to do, is how can we do that better?
I can feel it though. I feel something.
No, I am optimistic about our future, no question. But when it comes to my job, is I've got to figure out ways to make that happen, and you can never be optimistic that you've done enough.
Right.
There's always more to do, and I love doing it. This is a lot of fun.
It's like owning a home. It's like owning a home. It's never done.
There's another shingle that just fell off. Let's go fix it.
There's something to improve always.
Right.
Jim, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. Always appreciate your time.
Yep. Thanks for being here again.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure. It's an honor to be here and to hang out and to learn good things from everybody.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
Have you had a lot of good interviews?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've had some really good conversations. So,
is this a good location for you?
This is perfect.
Yeah.
I was over there last year.
I know.
And